is quite simple really. We all like to play 4 simple chords, like E minor, C, G, D. And there's nothing wrong really. There's nothing wrong in playing just 4 simple chords. But with a few tips, we can actually make them sound pretty cool. So this is your chance to really learn how to sound like a pro with 4 simple chords. And sure, we'll need to talk about melodies and arrangement, because that's also what makes you sound like a pro and makes those 4 chords really interesting. And plus today we'll need a capo. Now, you can use the capo wherever you like on the neck and play the exact same arrangement, the exact same chord progression, and it will sound cool. But in my opinion, it really sounds interesting when we use capo 3. So here is my capo 3, and I'm ready to play my chords. Now, technically we are in the key of E minor or G major, but because we're using capo 3, effectively that will sound like the key of B flat major. And to me there is something special about the key, there is something special about the way this sounds like with capo 3. But like I said, feel free to use it wherever you like once you've learned it. Now, we already mentioned that this is a super classic chord progression for really easy chords that everybody knows: E minor, C, G, and D. But the way we'll play these chords, together with the fingerstyle pattern, because we're gonna play fingerpicking, together with the melody and the arrangement, will be the reason why this chord progression will sound special and magical. Why not? So for the E minor, I like to play the chord this way, which to me already sounds more interesting than this boring E minor. So let's analyze note by note which notes I'm playing so that we understand what's the actual name of this chord and why this sounds interesting. So I start with the note E. I'm obviously referring to the note names as if the neck starts from here. We are capo 3, as I said. Then there is the note B, which is the 5th, so root and 5th. But then there is an F sharp, which is the 9th. So I'm already making, you know, a root 5, 9. Then I continue with the open G, which is the flat 3, the minor 3rd for this chord, and then there is the note D, which is the flat 7. So we've got root, 5th, 9th, flat 3, flat 7, and if you like, you can repeat the root again. Now, because we have a minor chord, but we also have the 9th in this, and the flat 7 obviously, this is an E minor 7 extended to the 9th, so an E minor 9. And we're gonna play the arpeggio on the right hand with this fingerstyle pattern. Okay, this is a sort of classical guitar type of arpeggio. And if you guys want to see note by note what I play in each of these arpeggios, you can head to my Patreon page, where as always you will find a full transcription with the music theory explained as well, and I will also put the right hand fingerstyle pattern so that you guys can follow along even better. Oh, and by the way, you may want to join my Patreon page now, because there are a few new things, including the fact that you can now get my R&B and neo-soul course included in your membership, and the tabs and music notation are not just in PDF, you can also download the Guitar Pro files. So yeah, just saying, join my Patreon. Then the second chord, guys, is a C major, but we are gonna play the first thing as a hammer-on pull-off to create a melody as well, and it goes like this. So we can say that we've got a C major 7 type of vibe, but then we do this type of melody, right? And then we go to a G major. We play the G with the root, with the ring finger, then we play the 9th here, and with the pinky we play the note D, which is the 5th, but then we're gonna remove it to play the B, which is the major 3rd, so we get this type of G add 9 sound. Did you hear that the second time the melody changes, instead of going, goes, okay, creating almost every breath you take type of vibe. Okay, but we do it only once, only the second time. So again, this is the reason why, we need to talk about melodies and arrangement, because these are the little details that make the chord progression more interesting, together with the timing and the way we play it on the right hand. Now, for the final chord, we need to discuss something music theory. Nothing crazy, I think everybody can follow this along, but just saying, there's gonna be some music theory involved, and if you want to get even more music theory, you'll find it on my Patreon page. So the last chord is a D. You guys may know that sometimes you can play the D as a D over F sharp, this way, or you can finger it this way, or this way, however you like. What does that even mean? It means that you play a D major, but you position the note F sharp in the bass. The result is you're playing a first inversion, okay, a slash chord, D over F sharp. Now, if instead of doing this or this, okay, you actually do this, what is really changing? Well, it's changing that instead of playing a D with the F sharp in the bass, we are playing a D with the open B string with the F sharp in the bass, and the open B string is the sixth. So you're really playing a D6 with the F sharp in the bass, okay? A D6 over F sharp. May sound, fancy, but it isn't really. It's actually easier than this because you just use two fingers and you do your D6 over F sharp, okay? But here is where we get something really cool in terms of melody, which is this little thing here. So I'm playing my arpeggio. The first time we just do this type of pattern, but the second time we like to play this melody, na na na. So hammer on, pull off, slide, and then open G to create this cluster. Okay. I like to play it keeping the bass note down until the very end, when you just have to lift it to play this, which then results in having very comfortably the ring finger down to play my E-7 and start again, right? But you may also want to try to play the first part of your arpeggio, remove all of your fingers and just do the melodic part separately, okay? Again, everything tapped out and explained on my Patreon page. It's just up to you. Either ways, it works. And I think it adds a lot of character to this chord progression so that when you finish it, you can resume from the E-7. Right, so if we play this chord progression all together, it sounds like this. So just make sure to experiment with the capo in different positions, and if you find a different key, i.e. the capo position differently on the neck where this chord progression, this arrangement sounds even better than what I showed you, please let me know what key that is in the comments below, or in tabs and music theory are on my Patreon page. I'll see you next time.